I guess it is. We could get into this next reaction, shall we? Now, shout outs to Get Like Prince. Appreciate the video so far. We reacted to one of his videos as of last week. And this one is the victims of Little Uzi Vert. The thing is just like putting it as the victims, you know what I'm saying? That may, but without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get into it. The victims of Little Uzi Vert. Let's get into this damn video, y'all. Let's do it.
Lil Uzi Vert, one of the biggest rappers in the game today, but that ain't all positive. As time went on, Uzi done got into it with a lot of rappers. Some situations cleared up, others nearly ended careers. So what happens when you get into it with a rapper the whole world loves? Years ago, Uzi got into it with someone we know a little too well, Offset. So if you remember, back then, Uzi was on the devil timing real bad.
Hold on, let me explain something to them real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you enter the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all is going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it. Oh, you already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know. That's up, but I still love you anyway.
And with someone moving like this, not everyone was gonna be okay with it. Uzi was getting crazy looks from fans, industry, everyone, rappers included. Uzi was rocking an upside down cross 24/7. It was just a part of their brand. When people seen the cross, people seen Uzi.
All y'all went upside down cross. Even my little partners, man. Stop that shit. You look lame. All that worship the devil. You with God, man.
And now a whole beat just sparked up after the post, cause
man said, get with God, but flash the whole diamond chain,
Uzi was online too. He was posting backwards words, posting 666, tagging Offset, trolling him in the comments about church, all kind of time. But Offset coming at Uzi like this ain't come without no problem. If you remember, right around this time, it was all kind of rappers acting like this. It wasn't just Uzi, it was a lot of people.
Yeah,
and they
that
didn't take
is
it
true.
too nice when Offset was online talking how he was.
You was the first to take this to the internet. You was
not the GTA 5 music.
You industry pigtail wearing. You was a pigtails style. It all on the internet. I'd be glad to beat your ass though.
Oh.
I'm talking about you wearing pigtails like a.
So now it's Offset, Baby, and Uzi all beefing because Offset spoke on the whole upside down cross timing they was on. That wasn't it though. It was one more person who got involved. But the reason they stepped into it was because they was feeling like Offset ain't had no business speaking on the younger generation. He was looking at Offset like he was an old head. In reality, he wasn't, but that's how he was looking at him.
Hey man, tell this get off for him, man. Yo, man, always on somebody, man. Shut your ass up, man. Like 35, still trying to catch the wave. Career over, man. Shut up. You Ryan. He's with Ryan. Straight Ryan. Quavo the best rapper in Migos. The rest is irrelevant. Hey, man.
Nah, Takeoff is better. R.I.P. to Takeoff.
Matter of fact, no, take off straight. Take off straight.
He corrected himself.
Be talking, Offset be talking. I don't know how they do.
Song goes on though, and really, with Uzi and Offset, that was the end of their beef. To the world for years, we wouldn't really hear nothing about the two beefing other than some shots here and there. Till like 2020, a whole lot of red comes out. And if y'all remember, on Pump Month, Cardi said, I was in Paris when Uzi and Offset started hitting. And I had to stay out of that because that wasn't none of my business. And so this had people thinking about the beef again. People was like, okay, what did Uzi and Offset really have going on? And the world would find out. Just
right, so many rappers it is that do this and still do it.
For context, if you don't know, Uzi date JT. JT be with Young Miami. And Young Miami was with producer Southside at the time. And look, we don't know what Uzi and Miami had going on, but they was mad at each other. They had some problems going on and aired it out on the media.
Yeah,
That's understood.
Carisha, it ain't even about that though. It ain't even about that because you know me. I ain't never got to see you just like you ain't never got to see me. It ain't about, I'm about to say it. Let me get my whole speech out because you know I don't do this. Yeah, I do. It's me. Look at my car. Look at my life. I do way too much. So anyway, Carisha. And JT told me, she like, Uzi, you ain't gonna do nothing, make it worse, so don't say nothing. But you know, clearly I run. You know what I said to you, Carisha, because you left me on scene.
Yeah, because it's like, it's understood. Me and you not friends, and we don't have to be friends. That's it.
It's not about that, Carisha. I told you, I ain't gonna say it on live. I already told you what be wrong with me.
Later on that night, Southside get on IG speaking his mind. He felt some type of way because Uzi was talking to his girl like that.
Yeah, let me say this one time. Hey, Uzi, don't address none of my. You handle your. You stay on your side and y'all stay on y'all side. You got one more time to say something. You ain't got one more time to say nothing to my. I promise you, I'm gonna punch your teeth out your mouth. Don't say nothing else. Nothing else to my. If you don't like my, them do them. I don't get in their shit. We don't get in their problems. Stay the little weirdo you is. Keep rocking purses. Keep doing that. Doing. I ain't with none of that plan, bro. None of that. None of that plan. I'm the same that saved you from getting robbed from offsetting them. Don't forget that. I'm the same only nigga in the studio that had blicks on me. I'm the same that kept you from getting your jury took when Merc was picking up your jury, nigga. Let's not play stupid, man. Stop playing dumb with me. Don't play stupid at all, bro. Don't play dumb. You feel me? Go on with that shit, bro. Deal with your and stay with your. That's all I'm gonna say. One time I was slapped dog. I could have slapped dog at the party the other day. You feel me? You and that security. I don't ride around Miami with security. We ride around Miami with sticks. That's it. That's how we play. I'm tired of you on this acting like you niggas tough and you is gangster. You niggas up in Atlanta, go around, pay, give whatever the want, just so around you. I ain't gotta do none of that. I'm really thugging. Stop playing with me. Don't say nothing else to my. That's my last time saying this shit, nigga. I'm telling you, or you gonna have a real problem on your hands. Herb can't save you. Mainsky can't save you. Watt can't save you. Nobody can't save you. I want my head. I want my fade.
Now look, to me personally, what this mean is it was something deeper than just that beef going on. Cause really, sit and think about it. If this true, would Offset, not even just Offset, would anybody really go out their way to try to rob somebody cause they was wearing an upside down cross? No, I don't think so. So for Offset to allegedly try to rob them meant that they had some actual problems going on. But at the same time, music with Migos has been teased over the years. 2019, Quavo got on Twitter saying Migos x Uzi 2019, but that song never came out. The song got took off the album that was coming out later that year, and people was wondering
30 gallons of water?
Did it have something to do with Offset?
I'm trying to
Did it
stay hydrated during the storm.
Did Uzi not want to clear the feature? We don't know. But what we do know is Offset came to Twitter saying that the song was dropping a week after the album came out. And look, to this day, Uzi and Offset still don't follow each other. They really don't communicate. You don't see them online together. There's barely any pictures of them in recent times. They just don't interact with each other, similar to Uzi and Gotti. So if you don't know, Gotti locked in with Migos. It was a point in time where when you seen the Migos, you was definitely gonna see Lil Yachty. Even though the two, Gotti and Uzi, was freshmen together, they wasn't really ever cool publicly for real. Yachty and Uzi done had problems going back years. If you remember, when the two was first coming up, they was getting compared a lot. Their music was getting compared heavily. This 2016, this whole melodic sound is new to the world.
I can see that.
People don't really know how to understand. So they was getting compared a lot, and neither one of them like being compared to each other. Their music wasn't similar. They was two completely different artists. But it was pretty much one moment that started their whole beef. 2017, Uzi was getting ready to drop Love Is Rage 2, right? And throughout the year, they just promoting music, just trying to build us some hype. So Uzi posts a snippet, and for whatever reason, nobody will ever know why Yachty did this, but he gets in the comments saying, it sound hard, but it don't sound better than that Lil Yachty. Uzi responds, put your album out so I can destroy you with mine. And don't rap through your nose on this one, Yachty. He probably thinking, oh, okay, man, they just playing, they trolling, until Uzi said what he said next. You is mentally challenged. Don't try to bring that foolishness over here. You better finish your last challenge. Now go find a new girl and stop worrying about boys at Lil Yachty. We don't know where this came from. We don't know what made Uzi want to say this, but from this moment forward, it was really it. It was over. Next few years, they wouldn't argue, they wouldn't be seen together, they wouldn't make no music until one day in 2020, Uzi got online and at both at Lil Yachty. Where you at? You know what you did in 2018. Yachty responds to Uzi saying, what I do? Uzi says JT. Context time. Uzi date JT like we all know. But you know who else dated JT? Lil Yachty. And when both seen that.
What? What? Oh, well, damn. Well, damn. Wow. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't know that. I did not know. Now, I knew about what I know about Lucretia Southside, but like I don't really know too much of JT's besides legal history. About with her dating history, that I don't know at all. But wow, okay.
Yeah, he was trolling. But Bolt and JT is his own thing. But basically, he cheated on her while she was locked up, and they broke up. And that was the end of that situation. Fast forward a year later, from Uzi calling out Yachty on Twitter, and the situation came back to life. So one day, Adam22 hit Yachty up. He like hop on his phone call with me for an interview. Bo was like, cool. Day comes to the interview, and Yachty and Adam on the phone talking. And his man's asked Yachty about him and Uzi relationship.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Let me ask you about this then. Okay, are you and Uzi like cool? Like, are y'all homies? Do you talk to Uzi? Okay. I didn't know. I don't know. But anyway, listen.
Okay.
And look, that's it. Yachty didn't even say no words for real. Yeah, he might have made that noise, but he ain't specifically say nothing disrespectful. He ain't announced that he not friends with Uzi. He just avoided the question. I'm telling you this because right after the interview, DJ Vlad turns around and makes a post saying Lil Yachty seems to confirm he's no longer friends with Uzi. And the problem,
Vlad is messy. Come on, Vlad. This ain't the first time it is I've seen Vlad go ahead. Vlad is the type of nigga that will go ahead and bring up like some type of like arrest record. Like, even though it is like, let's say that you got booked, but you never got convicted or anything like that. That nigga will be the type of person to bring that shit up in an interview, and it has nothing to do with what you got going on, bro. It's like, you are messy as hell, gang. I understand when journalists that they have to go ahead, or radio talk hosts, whichever, you know, you got to go ahead and do your research on the people it is that's coming in. But you messy as hell for bringing up stuff it is that like niggas didn't even remember, like they don't even have that in their mental. It is like, oh yeah, that is a part of my life. It is that did happen before it is that I got famous. I was like, what does that have to do with the fact that this a nigga got an album out? Like, what is this?
the problem with this is Yachty never specifically said himself they weren't cool. I mean, yeah, y'all heard the clip and he made it seem like they wasn't cool, but he never spoke that sentence out of his mouth. And to me, it seemed like Vlad was trying to start something out of nothing. And when Yachty seen it, he got on Twitter wilding. Vlad TV, you a bitch. Cause that's not what I said. Stop twisting words, you FBI agent. Vlad responded, nobody twisting your words. They asked you if you and Uzi was cool, and you said, yeah. Watch the video yourself before you start accusing people of twisting your words that you said yourself. Kids today love to play victim and blame everyone else for their own actions.
Oh, nah, said, crazy code switch.
We're not cool. I mean, I'd rather not speak on the situation publicly. Vlad responds, aka meaning you not cool with him, because if you were, you would have said it. And look, this had Yachty heated. I can't even read to you what he tweeted, just know he was wilding on Vlad. But in the middle of that little thing, Vlad brought up the situation I was talking about earlier, that little Twitter thing when Uzi was at Yachty. Vlad says, well, after doing some digging, now I see that your little Uzi Vert comment that you trying to backtrack from is a whole lot more than we just don't talk. Seems like the whole thing was about JT or the City Girls. And here's the tweet that started it all. Now, Vlad is wild for this. He was really trying to spark up some beef about nothing.
About nothing, right.
Vlad would have started this beef, right? And somebody would have died behind it. Then what? That's on Vlad because he sparked up a whole situation that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. But the funniest thing about it, though, the whole internet was really cooking Vlad. Like, everyone was looking at Vlad like he was a cornball for this one. Just look at the applause. You a cop, Officer Vlad doing some digging. You the feds, police activity. Vlad was cooked, and rightfully so. He was definitely tripping with this one. But
this isn't the first time I've heard this about with Vlad. He usually does this with a lot of people. But yeah, that's very messy. That is extremely messy to go ahead and just do that, gang. I ain't really rocking with that.
But this sparked up a conversation between Yachty and Uzi again. People had to know if they was actually cool or not. And one thing about the situation that had people kind of mad was there was this Drake and Uzi snippet called At the Gates. That was crazy. I'm talking about this a hit. If they dropped this song right now, I promise you it's going #1. It's that good. But the song never came out and people got to speculate.
Yeah, he be trying with a lot of different people.
Ain't want to drop because Uzi and Yachty had this going on. You know, Drake best friends with Lil Yachty. But eventually, Yachty spoke on everything many times.
Vlad, you messy as hell.
After he cussed Vlad out, a leak came out where Yachty was rapping. I can't play it, but I can read it to you. Do the right thing like you friends with Mookie. No matter how bad they want to collab, I ain't friends with Uzi. But in the song, he ain't say the whole name. You just hear the start of it and he cut the rest of the name out. And when people heard that everybody was coming at Yachty, and he kind of did backtrack. Original tweet said, rappers will clearly diss another rapper publicly and backpedal when they get called out. Yachty responds, I did diss him. I said we won't collab because we not friends. We aren't. We ain't cordial. Y'all are gay. And then after he tweeted that, a fan even called him out on the whole backtracking thing. Lil Yachty's so scared, bro. How you gonna diss him, then come to Twitter trying to save your image? Uzi always owned you. We all know you was begging for an Uzi feature in 2017 and trying to click with him and Cardi in 2019. But after all that, he said one last thing. Me and Uzi aren't friends. We used to be cool. It's not beef. It's just competition. That's all it is. We ain't friends. But the man Uzi definitely wasn't friends with his Rich the Kid. This one of Uzi's most iconic beats of all time. One that ran social media when it happened. But how did it even start? So something I didn't speak on yet was Uzi and DJ Drama had their problems going on, and we gonna get back to that later. But just know Uzi had label problems going on, and while he was in the middle of that, someone came and gave some input that wasn't asked for. Rich the Kid seen Uzi was complaining about the label situation, and Rich responds, "That's why you should have signed with Rich forever." But Uzi responds, "Ain't no way I'm signing for 20 racks. Now that is crazy. Trying to sign Uzi for 20 racks in 2018 is wild. I can understand 2016, 2015, but in 2018, 2017, trying to sign Uzi for 20,000 is crazy. After he done had #1 hits, a diamond single, but Rich was still going.
Hey man, your boss ain't treating you right, your CEO ain't treating you right, man. Come over to Rich Forever Music, you know?
For 20 racks? No. That's a disrespectful number. Especially if I got #1, like, shit, hell no.
Then come over with Rich Forever Music. You did.
Then about a month later after this, Rich was having an interview and they got to talking, asking him questions. And one question involved Uzi when they asked if he would sign him.
Yo, if Uzi didn't have a deal, would you sign him?
No.
Why not?
Not right now. Maybe back then.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not now?
Maybe I would sign him on my business, but not, you know what I'm saying, for personal reasons I wouldn't sign him.
Yeah.
And so at first, Uzi didn't really respond until one day
had a diamond single that year. Like, the fuck no.
Tagged Rich the Kid as a crab. And for years, I didn't know what this meant until I made a video on it last year and my comments explained it to me. Basically, it's a diss to the Crips, and Rich the Kid was claiming he was a Crip around that time. But they just kept dissing each other back to back, and at one point, Rich even previewed a diss track on Uzi. But all this little back and forth was just adding up, and it was getting at Uzi. It was eating him. He wasn't liking none of that. And so, one day as Uzi in his hometown, Philly, guess who he sees? Guess who happens to be there at the exact same time as him? Rich the Kid. Uzi ran down on him, chased that man all throughout the streets. He was jumping over counters, over cars. It was rough. I'm talking about the whole internet was cooking Rich the Kid. Anytime Rich got online, he was getting fried. He was getting cooked. And even after that situation, they beef was still going strong. 2019, Rich the Kid came on an interview claiming there wasn't no beef at all, saying that it was cool. But that was the farthest thing from the truth.
Rich, I'm just going to straight ask you, man. Where is you and Uzi Vert's relationship now?
No, we ain't got no beef. We straight. We cool.
Is the world is big enough?
Yeah, world is big enough. World is mine.
Wow.
I heard that. And you know, and I did just kind of want to ask, because I'm really on the outside looking in, and I'm an elder.
We was at the same place like last week. We're at the same jewelry store.
At the jewelry store?
Yeah, we were at the same jewelry store.
Matching necklaces or what?
No, it was just coincidence. We were there at the same time.
And absolutely nothing happens?
No. I didn't know he was gonna be there. He didn't know I was gonna be there.
But you know what I do love about that, man? And I don't know that anything else gets sensationalized. Anytime something else go on, people like to blow that up. You know what I'm saying?
1 year after this clip, Uzi did one of the most disrespectful things he could have did to Rich the Kid. Remember, Eternal Attack had been hyped up for years leading up to 2020, and finally in March of that year, he came out and dropped it, but not without some problems. See, the same day Uzi dropped the deluxe, you know who else dropped that day? Rich the Kid. And this wasn't no accident. Uzi had this planned out. A little bit before the album came out, Uzi was on Twitter saying, I'ma drop when he dropped. And people was wondering, oh, was he talking about Cardi? Or was he being petty talking about Rich the Kid? Turns out, it was definitely Rich the Kid. And when I say Uzi watched him, it was bad. Eternal Attack sold 288,000 copies.
Wow.
And Rich the Kid, Boss Man, that dropped that same day, sold 19,500 copies. Now look, first week sales ain't everything, but when you beefing with a nigga that made you run away from him in person and he outsell you like this, you gotta be feeling some type of way. This still wasn't the end of their beef though. Fast forward 2 years, 2022, Uzi and Rich the Kid allegedly squashed the beef. Even though they ain't spoke on it publicly, they have been reposting each other's music. Rich the Kid be like, oh yeah, Uzi hard. He'll repost the Uzi song. Uzi reposted, he posted it. Like, they be showing love to each other. But someone he ain't show love back to was a man that went by the name St. John. At around 12 p.m. on July 2nd, 2021, Uzi was in West Hollywood, pulled up to a cafe, the Dialogue Cafe to be exact, and Uzi walked up in there, and he seen something he ain't like. He allegedly showed the strap, and after he did, all hell broke loose. St. John and Uzi got to fighting in there going crazy, or at least that's what the world thought at first when the situation broke out. Turns out Uzi was riding by. He seen his ex, Brittany Vert, at the cafe. Her and St. John was there at a business meeting, and Uzi happened to roll by when they was together. Uzi hop out the car, swung on St. John. Uzi strap fall out his pocket on the ground. Brittany see all that going down. She walk up to Uzi, and Uzi allegedly point the gun at her, hit her, boom. Worst part is, Brittany ended up going to the hospital, and when 12 got involved, they hit Uzi with 3 years probation, 1 year in treatment for mental health and substance abuse, and 52 weeks of DV counseling. Uzi really did get lucky though. They passed him a pretty fair plea deal for the charges he was getting. He was getting charged with 3 felonies, assault with a strap, criminal threats, and DV, and only had to do what? Probation, take some classes? Well, that's lucky to me. Another beef he had got into was one with Roddy Ricch. So a while back, Roddy definitely had on some bull. He did not have it on. He did not have that on. And he was in the flick with some people in the rap game, and the pic got posted to the internet. And when Uzi seen it, he posted trolling, talking about these big ass boots. Who is this? I only saw the boots. I hope this a normal person. And it ain't take long for Roddy to respond. But he ain't respond just joking around. Oh, yeah, you funny. Nah. He basically told Uzi, you laughing at my boots, but I hit your hoe. I hit your girl. And the thing is, I don't know what these two had going on, but Uzi knew that was Roddy. There was no way he didn't know it was Roddy. The picture was all over the internet with Roddy Ricch's face in the picture. And soon after that situation, Roddy previewed the diss track, and it was only a matter of time before Uzi responded himself. Pink tape come around, and Uzi had this to say. Your voice don't sound the same. Get your range back. When they bring these lanes back, you said you hit my hoe, I hit yours too. Now look, we don't know if he was talking about Roddy 100%, but connect the dots. Roddy said what he said to Uzi. Uzi responded saying this. That wasn't all he said though. But you ain't even get your change back. They ran to your crib and took your platinum plex. I thought you was, what's up with that? And in the song, he bleeps it out. People speculated and assumed that he was saying Crip because Roddy is a Crip. Roddy being a Crip is basically a part of his whole image. Just look at how he spelled the name. But claiming Roddy House got ran into is crazy. You know, the thing is, it ain't no reports of this online, so take that as you will.
know he was Crip.
That beef was quick. One beef that wasn't was Uzi versus DJ Drama. All the way back in 2016, Uzi signed a Generation Now. The world was thinking everything was gonna be okay until Love Is Raised 2 was getting ready to come out. And Uzi was blaming Drama on Twitter for the delays. I'm talking about he was always on Twitter tweeting about DJ Drama. One tweet said, my album ain't dropping because of an old person who don't understand what's going on right now. Can you guess who? And so people start replying to the tweet saying DJ Drama. Uzi was retweeting it, basically confirming that's who he was talking about. And really over the next few years, Uzi was just always speaking his mind on this label problem. One tweet, and if y'all do sign to a major, don't sign to no rapper
everything
or
makes
DJ.
sense now.
It's just easier when time comes for that fake stuff. Uzi felt like the label was hoeing. He had a feature on Nav album Bad Habits, but it got took off before the album could come out because allegedly the label didn't want it to. And right around this time, Uzi got tagged in with Rock Nation. And if you remember, he dropped Free Uzi, and that song was on all platforms. Basically, he promoting that he free from the label. But it turns out he wasn't. Soon after the song came out everywhere, it got took off streaming services, and the only place you can listen to it to is on YouTube. But keep in mind, this was all Uzi side. We ain't even hear from the label and Drama. So what did they have to say?
You know, we've been talking to Vert consistently for the last like 6, 7, 8 months per se. So, and it's dope. It's a good feeling. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what we went through, you know, it became public, but you know, that happens between family. Like, and one of the reasons why it was a tough spot for us is because, you know, Vert's success was our success. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I instead of like necessarily coming out and feeling like we wanted to defend ourselves, because we took a lot of heat. Yeah. Like, you know, it was like Generation Now, you know, and even with the Rock Nation situation, like, Rock Nation was put in the media as if they saved little Uzi Vert's career, and you know, from
I didn't gather that.
What?
So? Okay, I don't look at press releases. I'm sorry.
It was a free Uzi campaign. And
oh,
then,
I remember that shit.
Yeah, and then it came.
I remember that.
Rock Nation saves Little Uzi. Saves him from who? From 3 young Black men that met in college at Clark Atlanta and Morehouse, who grew up on hip hop, who were best friends, who then came into the game, changed the game, and then created a label. Like, we're not culture vultures.
So let's be clear, man. What's going on with you on Uzi Vert, man? Because it just feels like y'all not on the same level. But he was pretty public about it. Remember the tweets?
He was.
I know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Right? Cool.
Like, he put the tweets out and everything. So, you know, and he created a certain narrative. You know what I'm saying? And in a situation like that, when, you know, Uzi is, you know, one of the biggest artists in the world, like, it wasn't even a space or a place for me to really, for us to feel like we had to defend ourselves. Like, we know where we come from. We know we do good business, you know what I'm saying? And like, if there's a personal situation, I can't help that. Like, you know, I can't help how the guy might feel about me personally, but I know when it comes to business or,
I think it was like they said that y'all was holding his music up.
Yeah, we're in the business of putting music out.
Right.
So, you know, holding the music up would not help us in no.
But eventually in 2020, Eternal Take did drop. So really just think about it. Uzi dropped the album in 2017 and didn't drop again until 2020. That is crazy to think about compared to the amount of music we've been getting from him today. But this drama / Uzi situation wasn't just between them two. It brought somebody else into it. Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow versus Uzi was a beef that not many people know about, and it go back a minute, all the way back to 2019 before Jack Harlow was as big as he was today. He got tapped in with DJ Drama, and in the middle of the Uzi Drama beef, Jack Harlow trolled a little bit. He posted a pic of him and Drama with the caption that said, "Just sign my life away. Double tap if you can't wait to hear Eternal Take." And look, I'm gonna say one thing about Drama. That man got a thing for finding superstars. He found Uzi back before Uzi was popping, and he found Jack Harlow before Jack Harlow was popping. Now, look at both of them. Jack Harlow got a #1 song in the world right now, and nigga, Uzi is Uzi. But back to the beef, Jack made this post, and Uzi responded by posting the pic of Jack Harlow with a clown emoji over his face, saying, "Free Uzi." Fast forward some months, Jack Harlow spoke his mind on that little situation.
How do you feel about Uzi putting a clown emoji over your face on Instagram?
As soon as I saw it, I got butterflies in my stomach.
Why, just because he was acknowledging you?
Well, I just couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. I didn't think he would acknowledge me.
Right.
Yeah.
And why was he pissed? Was it just because you're signed to Drama and he was having his issues?
I think it's because I aligned myself with Drama during the situation. I posted a photo with my arm around Drama, and I said, "Double tap if you can't wait for Eternal Take."
Yeah. What made you want to do that, though? You just feel like you had to sort of have that sense of solidarity with the team?
Yeah, partly that, and part of it was there was a genuine side to it in that, one, I wanted to show I'm with Drama. There was a lot of shit being talked about Drama. Me being an Uzi fan, I didn't think it was gonna be taken how it was taken, but that's how it went.
Right.
And now Uzi don't like me.
You never heard anything else after that, or?
Never.
No.
But they had their dislikes for each other. But what Uzi would really hurt both Jack and the label would be when he dropped the Eternal Take Deluxe. So if you remember what I said before, he dropped the Deluxe the same day as Rich the Kid. But it wasn't just Rich the Kid who dropped that day. Jack Harlow dropped the same day. So Uzi was really cooking both of them at the same time.
Wow.
Remember the tweet, as soon as he dropped, I'ma drop it again. That tweet really was directed at both Jack Harlow and Rich the Kid. But a few days after Deluxe dropped, someone tweeted at Uzi saying he declared war on Jack by dropping the same day as him. And Uzi responded saying Jack was doing great. He didn't care. A few months later though, Jack Harlow dropped his hit, Was Poppin', and threw some shots at Uzi on the song. He was basically like, y'all trying to diss me on the ground. I can't switch up on the label. I can't switch up on the fam. But what really confirmed who he was talking about in the music video, actually rapping the lyrics I just read to you, he on his phone typing the clown emoji. And who just called him a clown with a clown emoji on his face? Uzi. That wasn't all Jake said. He had a freestyle with Fun Fliction. 100% a shot at Uzi. Rappers got short man syndrome and a God complex. And who's a short man that people like to say got a God complex? Lil Uzi Vert. And really ever since then, the beef ain't been brought up, they ain't argued enough. Even though that beef ended kind of peacefully, it was one that went in a completely different direction. Uzi versus producer Forza. This was someone Uzi had known for a long time. They went to high school together and all that, but as the years went on, they stayed in touch. Uzi recorded music, Forza produced music. Eventually, Forza got to a point where he was a part of working on Dying. He was working with Uzi. He was working with all these other artists. He was locked in. It was looking like he was finna be making some big moves. But it was a problem. Most of the songs he made with Uzi never came out, meaning he didn't really have no money coming in. Yeah, he might have had these connections, but it wasn't turning into money in his pocket yet. And he was starting to get impatient. He needed the money then, he needed that money now. So it was probably a point in his life, he was struggling to pay bills. I guess he didn't want to get no regular job and just waited out for the bag to come. And so he resorted to the one thing you should never do to an artist. He started leaking and selling Uzi music. That's how he was getting his bag for a minute. Someone hit Uzi up and told him the truth. At Forza, been selling your music if you ain't know. Right after this, Uzi got the Twitter speaking his mind. Uzi and Forza was in the hotel room at the same time when Uzi got this DM. Forza lucky I ain't mess him up. He acting like I ain't know he was selling and stealing my music. We should have stomped you out, but we just kicked you out the suite. Sleep outside. If you don't know, this was leaking and selling. I know you cold. And when the world found out about what Forza did, he was cooked. Working on Dying responded by dropping him. They dropped him as a producer. His friends left him. Nobody wanted to be around Forza anymore because they just couldn't trust him. If you was finna leak your homeboy music that you've been friends with since high school, what else would you do? And look, I can't see both sides, right? He broke. He need the money. You need money to live, and he wasn't getting none. Could Uzi have just passed him some money every once in a while? Like, here, bro. But what Forza ain't know was if he just waited a few months, he would have finally got that bag he worked so hard for. He would have finally got that money he worked so hard for, right? Because when Uzi tweeted that was on November 29th, 2019. Eternal Atake came out in March of 2020. So if he would have really just waited them little 3-4 months, that nigga would have had a bag in his pocket. But time goes on, and he really starting to regret it all. And when everybody was dissing themselves from Forza, he got online doubling down on what he did. LOL, when you dedicate 3 years of working with one artist while they continue to make millions and you don't got a single penny, then talk to me. Until then, y'all never will understand what that feel like. It's not like I was just being paid and just being a greedy dude. I never had nothing to my name. A real dirty nigga could have probably tried to steal from me. I'd rather go make some money on my own than be a thief. Couldn't even pay for my rent, my own weed. They wasn't even gonna help me buy a laptop when mine broke. But y'all think because I'm hanging around with them, I'm supposed to be happy? Man, I'm not gay. I don't have to pay for nothing. I got family and bills. Y'all is sheep. Not saying nothing else about this. I'm all for stand down till you come up. But don't starve your dogs and not expect them to bite you when they hungry. And like I said earlier, he definitely do got a point. If Uzi knew he was holding on to these songs for that long and he knew what kind of situation Forza was in, Forza couldn't afford a new laptop, he couldn't afford his bills, Uzi definitely could have paid him some money, because it's not like Uzi giving him money just because. Forza is right here cooking up beats, making hundreds of beats for Uzi, spending nights just making beats for Uzi, and he not seeing no money. Uzi could have definitely been paying him. Uzi and Forza relationship was cooked at this point.
We know what Forza did, but please God drop watch this. It's been almost 3 years, sad face.
Is that a Forza beat? If it is, no.
You know, the thing is, he did drop the song that was asking for in that clip, but just not how you think. Watch This was produced by Forza like the clip just told you, and it got leaked or whatever. But earlier this year, it had a remix that went viral on TikTok with a completely different beat. So Uzi being petty, he decided to actually come out and drop the song without the Forza beat so Forza wouldn't get no money. And when Forza found this out, he was heated. I'm talking about he was on IG Snap. This TikTok fan remix of a Uzi leak is addicting. Forza said, "This sucks. I hate y'all. I hate y'all TikTok dudes. The disrespect." And so after this, he was still mad to the world. It looked like their relationship was done for, until one day Uzi was performing it Rolling Loud, and he played a song that had a Forza beat on it. And when Forza seen it, he was on stream. He was finna cry. He said it himself, "I'm about to cry." But what really had the world thinking their relationship was repaired was when my homeboy 1111 dropped a vid about the situation. And while he was making the vid, he reached out to Forza himself, and Forza said him and Uzi still cool. He still made beats for him every once in a while. But the damage that situation did to Forza was already done. Throughout that time he was beefing with everybody, that man joined the military and quit making beats. But one beef that really ain't in too well was Uzi versus Pop Hunter. 2022 came around and Pop was hot. He had a hit and kind of had the world in the chokehold, the internet, TikTok. Every time you went anywhere on the media, you was gonna hear a Pop Hunter song. Until one day,
I don't know, on my Frieza side, like Uzi could have done more for him. If somebody is making me money, why wouldn't I take care of him? That's what's kind of like fucking me up. You mean to tell me this nigga went ahead? Former working on Dying member Frieza has joined the Marines after being cut. Oh man, Oh man. Oh, see, this I didn't know. Oh man, I feel for him.
Quit making
Damn.
beefs. But one beef that really ain't in too well was Uzi versus Pop Hunter. 2022 came around and Pop was hot. He had a hit and kind of had the world in the chokehold, the internet, TikTok. Every time you went anywhere on the media, you was gonna hear a Pop Hunter song. Until one day, out the blue, something real crazy happened. Something from his past was found out. Basically, all the way back when Pop was 13, 14, he had watched somebody get smoked in front of him. And when the cops confronted Pop, they was trying to manipulate him bad. I'm talking about they sitting here telling this 14-year-old boy, him and his mama is gonna go to jail if he don't tell them what went down.
Listen though, right? It's how this went, you know what I'm saying? Like when they came and grabbed me, like they lied and said that they got consent from my mom to talk to me. No, for real, they didn't get no consent from my mom to even say anything to me. So
they're known for doing this. And in order to get information by any means necessary, they will go ahead and make up lies like this to you know, try to weasel out some effort of information of the things it is that they need to in order to do this. Now, if you stand on your word, whatnot, then obviously it is you can't be gaslit into saying any information. But a lot of people fold during these interrogation timing because of stuff like this. They start bringing in family members and everything like that. Like, shit is crazy. Answer no questions, stay silent as fuck when they ask, wait for the lawyer. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, like, it's not like, you feel me, like I just came in to the room when they was asking me shit and I just started saying stuff. No, like, they was saying to me like, oh, if you don't tell us what happened, we're gonna lock you and your mom up, bossy. Like, it was really saying this to a 14-year-old trying to get information. Like, so
see, you don't know kind of what's happening. You're scared.
I never been in no shit like that, bro. I never been in no shit like that. That's like take you know what I'm saying, around that age. You not no street dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never been around that type of stuff. You never did anything to even put yourself in. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying though, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is you gonna think? For real.
And the craziest part about them questioning Pop was he didn't have nothing to do with the situation. He was just there and watched it happen, and they singled him out because he was friends with the people that killed. But fast forward some years, he popping as a rapper and working with all these artists, got songs with Uzi, got songs with Tusi, everywhere. Everything was looking good until the paperwork from when he was 14 years old came out. Soon as it did, Uzi hit him up. Little bro, you gotta take me off your EP. I can't accept what you did. Pop said, come on, bro. Everybody's starting to hate me because I was being loyal. I did what I had to do. I can't even get features from artists no more because of this. Uzi said, sorry, little bro. I just can't respect you for what you did. And really from this moment forward, Pop was cool. No rappers ever wanted to work with him. He was black.
Nah, when I seen that shit, he yelled, hey, I'm telling, I was crying.
Over that situation from when he was 14. But some weeks back, I told this Pop Hunter story in real deep detail in the video on screen right now.
All right, before this we get
X had a crazy run in a rap game.
Before this, if we get into that, hey, listen, you know, wow, that I learned quite a bit. Damn. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what y'all opinions are going to be from this. Obviously, it is like I didn't know too much about Lil Uzi's background, but I liked his music. But I didn't realize the amount of beefs it is because now I'm thinking about like especially that latest album it is that he dropped, and I'm here listening to it, and I'm not even realizing the beefs behind this. But damn. But hey, listen, you know, Get Like Prince. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to everybody in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.